How's it going, guys? Welcome to One Man Customs. Today, I'm going to be giving you a quick review on my Amazon purchase. This is an Arccaptian 165 amp welder. This video is not sponsored. I used my own money to purchase this welder. This welder cost $179 on Amazon at the time of purchase, which is a pretty decent deal for a 165 amp welder. My Lincoln that I have cost me over $500, and that's only 140 amps. This is everything that comes with the welder. They include some 035 flux core wire. They also give you a manual, an information card, depending on the type of welding you're doing and the thickness of material. They give you the recommended information. You get some stickers, some extra consumables, and a different style of roller for your wire feed. This is the welder itself. Pretty decent, in my opinion, for a $179 welder. This is your ground clamp. This is your stick electrode holder. It's a gas supply hose for when you're MIG welding. This is the adapter plug that allows you to go from the 220 plug down to the 110 volt plug. When you're using the 110 volts, it only allows you to go to 145 amps. So you have to be in the 220 plug to actually use the full 165 amps of the welder. This is a picture of the brush they give you with it, the one on the left. It's not a great brush. I definitely recommend getting yourself a better wire brush, along with if you're going to be doing the flux core welding, get yourself a chipping hammer to chip off the slag, because they include a little nub on the end of it, and it's not that great. This is a picture of the welder next to my Lincoln SP140. The Arccaptian only weighs like 15 pounds, where my Lincoln weighs close to 50. So, and the Arccaptian actually has 15 more amps of power. Here's a picture of the inside. I bought some gas wire 030 from Harbor Freight, which is not the greatest wire, but it'll work for this video. Here's a close-up of the mechanism that holds the wire where the wheel goes. The only real concern I have is a little plastic knob looking thing there. It's kind of chintzy. Let's go ahead and fire this bad boy up, turn it on. The switch is located in the back of this one. Can go over some of the adjustments the buttons allow you to do. First one is switching between your gas MIG welding. You can switch up to stick welding. This is your lift TIG, and then this is your flux core welding. And you can also switch between wire size, and then 2T and 4T settings. And then by pressing the knob, it allows you to adjust the settings. So this one right here is your thickness. If you want to use the auto weld feature, using the 110, it only allows you to go to 0.21. If you go to the 220, it allows you to go up to 0.24 thickness. So it gives you that full amperage range. Then you can select it again, and it allows you to go through your amps if you want to do manual adjustment. Or if you push it again, it'll allow you to go through the voltage adjustment. And then if you push it again, it allows you to go through wire feed rate. So you can use the setting that you prefer if you want to do it manually, or you can switch it back to your auto feature, and then you can adjust it and weld by thickness, which I actually found to be pretty accurate to the thickness of material I was welding. So it works really, really well. now to the part you guys have probably all been waiting for, some actual welding. There's some scrap I had laying around the shop. I'm just going to throw a couple tacks on this, and then I'm going to do an outside corner joint weld. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to do an inside and quarter joint weld, and I'll show you the welds. Here's that inside corner joint. Looks pretty good. I also did some other things. Welded a tab on to a flat plate. And then I also did a multi-pass weld on some thicker 3/8 steel. And it actually worked really, really well. You can tell I missed the corner there in the beginning a little bit on the last cover pass. But other than that, I think it turned out pretty good. Now let's go over the pros and cons, I think, of this machine. We'll go over the pros first. The first one is price point. For under 200 bucks for a multi-purpose welder that can do gas, gasless like flux core, stick, and TIG, we'll say TIG. You can't beat that. The second one would be the small size and weight of this machine. If you're doing any portable welding, or going over to a buddy's house, this is the perfect welder. At under 15 pounds, I mean, that's amazing. The third pro for this machine is it has a twist lock feature. For positive negative when you're switching between gas welding and flux core. My Lincoln has these little twists that you have to open up the door to get to, where this one's right on the front of the machine. Takes 2 seconds to change. I think that's an amazing thing. And the last thing for the pro would be consumables. So the little electrode tips that are on the end of the MIG welder, they're the same as like the Lincolns or the Millers or a Hobart. I know some of these cheaper machines, sometimes they have very unique consumables that you can only get online. It's kind of nice that these are actually the similar style of tips. I referenced it with my ones on my Lincoln, and it's the same threads and everything. So you can go to any general hardware store that sells welder or welder accessories and pick these up. You're not waiting, for a delivery online because they're unique or proprietary to the welder. Next, we'll talk about the cons of this machine. And these are my personal opinion. Remember, You know, for 200 bucks, quality, you know, there's a couple things that are lacking, like the wire feeder area. There's some plastic in there I can see maybe breaking. So that'd be one of the concerns I'd have, would be like the longevity of the machine, or how rough you can be on it, based off of this. The second one, lift TIG with no pedal or adjustment, I think is kind of pointless. So to me, this is mostly a MIG or a stick welder. I'm not saying you can't TIG on it. To me, I would rather buy like a high frequency TIG machine. The next one is, it doesn't come with the gas regulator, which will cost you another anywhere from 60 to 100 bucks. It does offer, you know, gas MIG welding, so it'd be an awesome option if they actually included a regulator for you. That's pretty much it for my pros and cons of this machine. I do think it's a pretty decent machine for under $200. I would definitely recommend this for anybody looking for a decent cheap welder, or just trying to get into the welding hobby or profession. Remember to like and subscribe and share with your friends. Thanks for watching.